Thanks for joining us here for team coverage here on Fox 10 News. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith here with meteorologist Matt Barrentine. And Matt, we've seen some big changes with Sally today. Obviously, it has intensified, but talk about the reformation of the center. It shows up some here on this graphic.
Yeah, what happened earlier today with Sally, if this is kind of surprising you, is that this center fell apart, but then it reformed about 20-25 miles further to the northeast. That's why it looks like it does a curlicue there. It didn't actually move like that. It reformed its eye. So the center actually just sort of jogged about 20 to 25 miles further to the north and east. And that's changed the trajectory of what we're looking at with the storm, which puts us, unfortunately, more in that trajectory.
Yeah, it looks like we may see a direct hit potentially from the system, and it is now a 100 mile per hour category 2. It could get stronger. This is the new track that just came down at the 4 o'clock hour from the National Hurricane Center, and it shows anywhere from Perdido Pass to over near Slidell, Louisiana as possible landfall points, but this could change too with the forecast. We've seen a lot of changes with the models today, Matt.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because it took that northeast jog, all the models had to then go take that jog with it. Once they replayed all the models, we got much more of an easterly solution, which unfortunately is core impacts for our area.
Right now it's showing it as a 110 mile per hour storm coming in somewhere near the Mississippi-Alabama line, which would be worst case scenario for Mobile County and Baldwin County because we would be in the northeast quadrant of this storm. So if you're at the house right now or you're making preparations and you're probably wondering just how bad is it going to be, and certainly, Matt, the number one thing we're concerned with here is the flooding.
Yeah, the bright fuchsia bar there, that is flooding. It is at the top of the top level there. Extreme impacts here because we could see 24 inches of rain in some localized spots. It's really that bad. What we're looking at is not just, a quick moving system. This thing's going to be crawling along, walking speed at 3 miles an hour most likely at some point, and it's going to hang around tonight, all day tomorrow, and into parts of Wednesday, pouring on top of us.
And in addition to that, we have elevated wind threat here. Now we're talking about a category 2 storm, and it's not a little in and out category 2. Because it's moving slowly, the wind is going to be blowing for an extended period of time. The rainfall falling, weakening the root systems. It makes trees easier to blow over. The wind spending more time working on trees and vulnerable structures. And then we may see storm surge values that could be very significant depending on where the center comes ashore.
Yeah, we're looking at the second highest storm surge since Katrina. So we haven't seen storm surge like this since Katrina. That is what we're expecting out there tomorrow. Not as high as Katrina, but still it's going to be the highest that we've seen since Katrina. So we expect some issues out there with the storm surge. Here's some of our localized impacts. First off, we're looking at Mobile and Baldwin counties here. 4 to 7 feet of storm surge, like we were just noting. The rainfall 15 to 20 inches. That's pretty widespread. There will be some localized spots still higher than that.
Yeah, and power outages are expected, unfortunately, with those type of winds spreading in across. In the red here, 80 to 105. Orange, 60 to 80. That would be north of I-10 in northern Mobile County and Baldwin County. Then we slide over to our Mississippi counties, where we could see a 6 to 9 foot storm surge and winds 80 to 105. Looks like we could see some significant impacts in the inland areas. And Matt, touch on some of the inland spots here.
Yeah, rainfall. Once again, we're talking about a foot of rain's possible even inland. And then we got the isolated tornado threat. Thankfully, it's not as high as some of the other threats, but obviously there's going to be that possibility. And if you get one that goes by your house, that could do some damage. Now here's the Florida counties.
Right, we could see these come up to, as far as our predictions, surge 2 to 4 feet, but the storm turns more towards the panhandle. We could see higher values there, so we are closely monitoring the impacts. We're going to continue to break it all down for you here on Fox 10 News this evening.